1 month after my daughter's wedding, the photographer called me and whispered, "Sir, I noticed something terrible in the photos. Come immediately alone and don't say anything to your daughter." That phone call changed everything. Name's Rick Morrison. I'm 68, been running Morrison Construction in Dallas for 35 years. Built it from nothing after I got back from Vietnam. Good business, honest work, and I thought I had a good family too. Turns out I was wrong about that last part. The phone rang while I was going over payroll reports in my office. Tuesday morning, quiet day, I almost didn't pick up the unknown number. "Mr. Morrison, this is Sarah Mitchell. I photographed Amanda's wedding last month. I need to see you immediately, alone. Please don't tell your daughter." Her voice was shaking like a leaf in a storm. Something in my gut told me this wasn't good news. "What's the problem?" I asked. "I can't explain over the phone, but I found something in the photographs, something serious." Before I could ask more questions, my youngest daughter Lisa's voice came from the break room. "Gary, I told you already. Ask him for car money today." My Honda's embarrassing. Gary's laugh echoed back. "That's my daughter's boyfriend. 36 years old, no steady job, living in my house for 4 years now. Along with Lisa, who moved back in after her divorce and never left. I'll be there tomorrow morning at 9, I told Sarah. "Thank you. I'm so sorry, Mr. Morrison." She hung up. I sat there staring at the framed photo on my desk. Amanda in her wedding dress, looking radiant. David beside her in his tuxedo. Just a month ago, I'd spent $58,000 on that wedding. Worth every penny to see my eldest daughter happy, or so I thought, Dad. Lisa appeared in my doorway, car keys in her hand. "Did you hear me? I need money for a decent car. This Honda's 7 years old and it's humiliating." I looked at my youngest daughter, 31 years old, divorced, living in my house rent-free for 4 years now. Gary had followed 6 months after she moved in. No timeline for leaving, no contributions to household expenses. Just constant request for more money. "We'll talk about it later, sweetheart." Later? I need to get to the dealership this week. Jenny got a new Camry, and I can't keep showing up in that rust bucket. I turned back to my computer screen. The payroll numbers blurred together. Later, Lisa, she huffed and stomped away. Through the thin walls, I heard her complaining to Gary about how I was being unreasonable. Funny thing is, I'd been supporting both of them for 4 years. No rent, no end date, just constant demands for more. The rest of the day dragged like a broken muffler on concrete. I kept thinking about Sarah's voice, that fear in it. What could possibly be wrong with Amanda's wedding photos? The ceremony was picture perfect. The reception at that fancy hotel downtown, everything elegant and expensive. Amanda had glowed. David had been charming and attentive. What was I missing? Around noon, Gary wandered into my office without knocking. Never knocked, just walked in like he owned the place. "Hey, Rick, Lisa says you're being weird about the car money. I said we'd discuss it later." "Yeah, but she's got her heart set on it. Maybe just write the check. Keep the peace." He leaned against my doorframe, arms crossed like he was settling in for a long chat. Happy wife, happy life, right? Happy wife, he'd never even married Lisa. 4 years living in my house, and he couldn't commit to making it official. But he sure had opinions about how I should spend my money. "Gary, I'm working." Sure. Just saying, he left with that cocky grin of his. I looked out my window at the equipment yard below. My pickup truck sat next to the bulldozers and excavators. 35 years building this business from nothing. Started with 1 truck and a toolbox after I got out of the service. Now I had 4 crews working steady jobs across Dallas-Fort Worth. Good American dream stuff. Hard work paying off. That evening at home, Amanda stopped by unannounced. Perfect as always, designer clothes, perfect hair, that smile she inherited from her late mother. "Hi, Daddy." She kissed my cheek and walked past me into the house. I was in the neighborhood. Her real estate office was 20 minutes away, but I didn't mention that. She'd been doing this since she was a teenager, showing up when she needed something, acting like it was coincidence. "How are you? You look tired. Long day." Business stuff. She sat on my couch, picked up a framed photo of her and Lisa as kids at the lake. We'd had good times then. Family camping trips, fishing expeditions, Sunday barbecues. Before things got complicated, David and I have been house hunting. We found this incredible place in Preston Hollow. 4 bedrooms, pool, amazing kitchen. Perfect for starting a family. I sat across from her in my recliner, waited for the pitch. With Amanda, there was always a pitch. The thing is, we need to move fast. Market's competitive out here. We need help with the down payment. She smiled that practiced smile. $35,000. You understand, right? After everything you spent on the wedding, this just completes the picture, helps us start our life together properly. $35,000 delivered, like she was asking to borrow my truck for an afternoon. Something twisted in my chest, that same feeling I'd gotten from Sarah's phone call. "Let me think about it, sweetheart." Her smile faltered for just a second. Think about it, Dad. This is important. David and I need to move quickly on this. I need to review some things first. Check the business accounts, make sure the timing's right. She stood up faster than necessary. Fine, but don't take too long. We can't lose this house because of delays. Cold kiss on the cheek, then she was gone. I watched her BMW pull out of my driveway. $35,000 delivered like I'd already agreed to it, like my money was just sitting there waiting for her convenience. From the living room came Gary's laugh, sports highlights on my TV, his beer bottle leaving rings on my coffee table. I'd had enough for one day. The next morning, I drove downtown to Sarah's studio before the sun was fully up. Couldn't sleep anyway, kept thinking about that phone call. Her studio was in a converted warehouse in the Arts District. Professional setup with her name on a brass plaque beside the door. Sarah met me at the entrance, looked more nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Mid-40s professional photographer, the kind who'd shot hundreds of weddings, but today she was shaking. Mr. Morrison, thank you for coming so early. She locked the door behind me with trembling fingers. I have everything set up in the editing room. I followed her through the gallery space, past walls covered with wedding photos, family portraits, corporate headshots, normal stuff. Happy families celebrating life's big moments. Made me wonder what was so different about Amanda's pictures. Mr. Morrison, I need you to understand something. She said as we walked, I've been doing this for 15 years. I've seen families at their best and sometimes their worst. But I almost didn't call you about this. We reached a smaller room dominated by a large monitor and computer equipment. Wedding portfolios were stacked on shelves, memories organized in neat rows. I went back and forth for days, she continued, sitting at her computer. But if I were in your position, I'd want to know, even if it hurt. Just show me what you found. She pulled up images from Amanda's wedding. The ceremony first, my daughter walking down the aisle in that $3,000 dress, me escorting her, trying not to tear up. David waiting at the altar looking sharp in his tuxedo. Guests smiling, everyone dressed to the nines. Everything perfect and beautiful. These are what everyone saw, Sarah said softly. The official story, she clicked to another folder, but photographers capture more than just the posed moments. We're there early, setting up, testing equipment. We see things. She hesitated, cursor hovering over a file. 2 hours before the ceremony, I was at the hotel early, testing light settings, checking angles from different positions. There's a balcony on the 3rd floor that overlooks the courtyard where guests were gathering. Another click. I was shooting through the glass doors, calibrating my equipment for the lighting conditions. The image appeared on screen, and I gripped the back of her chair hard enough to leave marks. David, my son-in-law in his tuxedo but not properly buttoned yet, pressed against a woman with auburn hair, not my daughter, kissing her like his life depended on it, hands tangled in her hair, her arms wrapped tight around his neck. This wasn't some friendly goodbye or casual encounter. This was intimate, familiar, wrong. How long before the ceremony? My voice sounded like it was coming from underwater. Exactly 2 hours and 17 minutes. The metadata's all here, date, time, GPS coordinates. She pulled up a technical display showing data I barely understood. I captured this sequence accidentally while testing exposure settings, but it's absolutely real. Multiple shots. She clicked forward through more images. Different angles, same devastating scene, David and this auburn-haired woman locked together like lovers. In one photo, I could see the woman's left hand pressed against David's chest. Wedding ring catching the light, gold band with a diamond solitaire. Do you know who she is? I asked, though I wasn't sure I wanted the answer. Sarah shook her head. I don't recognize her from the guest list you provided. I photographed everyone who attended the ceremony and reception. This woman wasn't there. She pulled up another image, this one showing David's face clearly. No confusion in his expression, no guilty shock at being caught. Just confidence and control. A man who knew exactly what he was doing 2 hours before promising to love and honor my daughter for the rest of his life. Can you prove the timing beyond any doubt? Absolutely. This is forensic-level evidence. The metadata includes GPS coordinates that match the hotel location exactly, timestamps down to the second. Camera settings, everything a court would need. She reached into her desk drawer and pulled out a small flash drive. Everything's here. All the photos, complete metadata, technical documentation proving authenticity. I made multiple backup copies. I took the drive, closed my fist around it like it might disappear. You did the right thing calling me. I keep thinking about your daughter's face during the ceremony. She looked so happy, so trusting. I couldn't let this stay hidden, even though it might destroy that happiness. The drive home passed in a fog of disbelief and anger. David Pierce, financial advisor, polished and articulate. Everything I'd thought I wanted for my daughter. Smooth talker with the right education. Good job, nice manners, and he was betraying her 2 hours before their wedding with another man's wife. But the more I thought about it, the more questions piled up like leaves in a storm. Why marry Amanda at all if he had this other woman? Why go through with a $58,000 wedding, make those sacred vows, smile for all those pictures? What was the point? Back home, I went straight to my office and opened my laptop, pulled up the wedding budget spreadsheet I'd been tracking for months. $58,000 total. Venue rental, catering for 180 guests, photographer, flowers, band, cake, everything Amanda had wanted. But looking at it now, one thing stood out that hadn't bothered me before. Amanda had been very specific about the gift situation. No registry at the department stores, no china patterns or kitchen appliances like most couples wanted. Dad, we're starting fresh in a new place. We need flexibility more than stuff. Cash gifts are way more practical for young couples these days. I thought she was being mature and sensible, smart even, but now I was wondering what practical really meant to her and David. I grabbed a legal pad and started making notes. The guest list had been 180 people, mostly my business associates, longtime friends, people who'd known Amanda since she was knee-high to a grasshopper. Successful folks who'd give generous gifts to the daughter of someone they respected. I remembered the gift table at the reception, overflowing with envelopes. Amanda had hired someone specifically to collect and organize them, keeping careful track of every contribution. At the time, I'd been proud of how thoughtful and organized she was. The week after the wedding, she'd called me laughing about their good fortune. David and I are so blessed, Dad. Everyone was incredibly generous. We collected $42,000 in cash and checks, $42,000. I wrote that number down and circled it twice. Then I remembered something else. My business partner Jim Rodriguez had handed David a check directly at the reception, man to man. Welcome to the family, son. Start your life right. Jim was wealthy, successful, generous with people he respected. I'd been standing right there when he handed over that check, $12,000. I'd seen the amount when David thanked him, so the real total was $54,000 in wedding gifts. More money than a lot of people made in a year, handed over to celebrate what I now knew was a lie. Why marry Amanda at all if you had another woman? That question kept eating at me like acid, unless the wedding wasn't about love, unless it was about collecting $54,000 from people who trusted and respected me. Sleep was impossible that night. I sat in my office past midnight, flash drive on my desk next to my coffee mug. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw those pictures. David's confident face, no guilt or shame, just a man taking what he wanted when he wanted it. Around 3 a.m., I made fresh coffee and stood at my kitchen window, looking out at the dark Texas sky. Somewhere across town, Amanda was sleeping next to the man who'd betrayed her 2 hours before their wedding. Did she know? Was she part of it? That thought made my stomach turn worse than the first. Morning couldn't come fast enough. By 7, I was showered, dressed, and ready to start digging for answers. First stop was the bank where I'd done business for over a decade. The downtown branch opened at 9 sharp. Patricia Williams, the manager, greeted me in her office like always. We'd worked together for 12 years, handled the financing for 3 equipment purchases and 2 building expansions. Mr. Morrison, good to see you. What brings you in this morning? I want to verify a check I wrote recently. Wedding gift for Amanda, $18,000. Just making sure everything cleared properly. Patricia pulled it up on her computer screen. Yes, here it is. Joint account for David and Amanda Pierce. No problems. Cleared immediately. Joint account. I kept my voice casual. When did they open that account? She scrolled through the details. Looks like May 15th, about 2 months before the wedding. 2 months before, not years, not when they got engaged 18 months ago. They'd opened a specific account just 2 months before the wedding to collect gift money. This wasn't young love planning a future, this was logistics. Thanks, Patricia. Just wanted to make sure everything was handled correctly. Of course. Young couples these days, they're so organized with their finances. Organized, that was one word for it. The drive home took me past the construction site where my crew was working on a new office building. Good honest work, men earning paychecks for their families. I'd built my business on simple principles: do the job right, treat people fairly, keep your word. Seemed like those values were getting harder to find. At home, I headed straight for my office, but Lisa's voice stopped me in the hallway. Yeah, Dad's been acting really strange lately. Phone conversation. Volume cranked up like always. She was upstairs on the landing, talking loud enough for the neighbors to hear. I stopped walking, stayed quiet. I don't know what his problem is, Lisa continued, but don't worry, sis. Gary and I can stretch this situation another 6 months easy. By then, Dad'll cave and buy us that condo downtown just to get some peace and quiet. My blood went cold, sis. She was talking to Amanda. Amanda's voice came through the phone speaker, clear enough for me to catch every word. Perfect timing. I've got maybe 2 more months of playing the happy wife routine. Then I filed the paperwork. Half those wedding gifts are legally mine under Texas community property law. David already agreed to the 60-40 split we discussed. Easiest $40,000 I'll ever make in my life. I grabbed the wall for support, felt the room spinning. Lisa laughed like she'd heard the funniest joke in the world. And David's little girlfriend doesn't have a clue about any of this. This plan is beautiful, Amanda. Dad's so busy feeling proud about your perfect marriage, he can't see what's happening right in front of him. Just keep him distracted, Amanda said, voice cold as winter steel. Ask him for something expensive this week. That way when I hit him up for the house down payment, it won't seem like too much by comparison. Classic anchoring technique. Already working on it. Asked for new car money yesterday. He looked annoyed, but he'll come around eventually. He always does when we push the right buttons. I backed away from the stairs, moving silent as a ghost until I reached my office. Closed the door, leaned against it, hands shaking like I had the DTs. Both daughters were playing me, both of them lying, scheming, treating me like a piggy bank with legs. Amanda planning to divorce David just to steal the wedding money we'd all given them. Lisa running out the clock until I got tired enough to buy them property. Playing happy wife, easiest $40,000 I ever made. He always does when we push the right buttons. I'd almost written Amanda that $35,000 check for her house down payment. Almost funded the very scam they were running on me. I sat down at my computer and typed property lawyer Dallas, Texas into the search engine. Found Charles Anderson's name in the results, 22 years experience, specializing in real estate law, family trusts, asset protection. His office had an appointment available the next morning at 10. I called and booked it. Time to stop being an ATM machine and start being a man who protected what he'd worked 35 years to build. That afternoon dragged worse than a funeral procession. I tried focusing on work, reviewing contracts, checking on job sites, handling normal business. But my mind kept circling back to those phone conversations, those pictures, the web of lies my own family had been weaving around me. Around 4, Gary wandered into my office with a beer in his hand. Middle of the afternoon, drinking my beer, acting like he owned the place. Rick, you got a minute? Lisa and I were talking about our future. We're thinking maybe it's time to make some changes around here. What kind of changes? He settled into the chair across from my desk without being invited. Well, we've been living in that little guest house for a while now, and it's getting kind of cramped. Plus, Lisa's talking about maybe starting a family soon. A family. With a man who wouldn't even marry her after 4 years. We were thinking maybe you could help us with a down payment on a little place of our own. Nothing fancy, just something where we could spread out. Maybe have some kids. Lisa found this great condo development downtown. Units going for around $180,000. We'd need maybe $30,000 to get started. $30,000 from me so they could move out of my house. After 4 years of free rent, free utilities, free groceries. After treating my home like their personal hotel. I'll think about it, I said. Gary's face lit up like Christmas morning. Really? That'd be amazing, Rick. Lisa's gonna be so excited. I said I'd think about it, but I'd already made my decision. Tomorrow morning I was seeing a lawyer. Time to build some walls around what I'd spent my whole life creating before my own family picked it clean. That evening, I sat on my back porch with a beer, watching the sunset paint the Texas sky orange and red. 35 years of honest work, building something from nothing. Raising 2 daughters I thought I could be proud of. Turned out I'd been raising strangers who saw me as nothing more than a source of money. But that was about to change. Anderson's office was downtown, 18th floor of a glass tower that caught the morning sun. I arrived 15 minutes early. Spent the time in my truck organizing the folder I'd brought. Weeding budget spreadsheet, flash drive from Sarah, handwritten notes from yesterday's revelations, evidence that my own family had been running a con on me. The elevator ride up felt like ascending to Judgment Day. I'd made tough decisions for 35 years running a construction business. Hired and fired crews, negotiated million-dollar contracts, survived 3 recessions. But this felt different. This was personal. Charles Anderson met me in his office, early 50s, gray at the temples, firm handshake like a man who'd worked with his hands before becoming a lawyer. Texas flag in the corner, law books lining the walls, the kind of setup that said he understood regular working folks. Mr. Morrison, have a seat, coffee, black, thanks. He poured from a silver carafe, handed me a heavy ceramic mug, then settled behind his mahogany desk. You mentioned family property issues when you called. What's the situation? I placed my folder on his desk and opened it methodically. Month ago, I paid for my daughter's wedding, $58,000. 3 days ago, the photographer showed me pictures of my son-in-law with another woman 2 hours before the ceremony. Yesterday, I discovered my daughter planned the whole thing. The marriage was a scam to collect wedding gifts and split them through divorce. Anderson's pen paused over his legal pad. You have evidence both parties intended to divorce from the beginning? I overheard my younger daughter on the phone with her sister. Quote, I've got 2 more months of playing happy wife. Then I file, half the gifts are legally mine. David already agreed to 640 split. Those were my daughter's exact words. I slid the flash drive across his polished desk. The affair photos are here. Complete metadata, timestamps, GPS coordinates, court-admissible evidence. Anderson inserted the drive into his computer, clicked through the files. His expression stayed professional, but his jaw muscles tightened as he saw the pictures. And your younger daughter living in my house 4 years with her boyfriend. No rent, no lease, constant demands for money. I pulled out my handwritten notes. Yesterday's phone call, she told Amanda they'd stretch their freeloading another 6 months until I got tired and bought them a condo. Anderson made notes, circled key details. Mr. Morrison, Texas property law is crystal clear. Your house, your rules. Without a written rental agreement, you can begin eviction proceedings immediately. Standard timeline is 30 days written notice. Can they fight it? Not successfully. Without a lease, they're guests who've overstayed their welcome. The 30-day notice is courtesy, not negotiation. Something loosened in my chest for the first time in days. What about protecting my other assets, my business? I don't want them getting a penny when I'm gone after what they've done. That's where an irrevocable trust becomes your best friend. We transfer everything, house, business interests, savings accounts, into a trust managed by a professional trustee. You keep complete control during your lifetime, but after death, distribution follows your exact instructions. Much harder to challenge than a simple will. How much harder? Nearly impossible if structured correctly. Wills get contested all the time. Undue influence, mental incompetence, family pressure. But a properly executed irrevocable trust established while you're clearly competent and acting freely, that's a different legal standard entirely. We talked fees minus $700-500 for the complete package. Eviction notices, trust creation, asset protection. I'd spent $58,000 on a wedding that was pure theater. This was pocket change for real protection. I should warn you, Anderson said as I signed the contracts. This will likely destroy your relationship with your daughters permanently. Once you serve those eviction notices and they discover the trust structure, there's no walking it back. I thought about Lisa's laugh when she talked about pushing my buttons, Amanda's cold calculation about playing happy wife for 2 more months. They destroyed the relationship themselves. I'm just acknowledging reality. The eviction notices arrived the following Friday. Heavy paper, official seals, legal language that couldn't be misunderstood. I set them on my kitchen table and looked at them most of the day, building up courage for what came next. That evening, I found Lisa and Gary in my living room, comfortable as ticks on a hound dog. Gary was explaining some new business idea involving food trucks while Lisa nodded along like he was announcing the cure for cancer. The Dallas market is perfect for gourmet food trucks. Gary was saying, we'd need about $25,000 startup capital, but your dad would see returns within a year, guaranteed. Lisa laughed. He'll do it. Dad always comes through when we frame it as helping family. I stepped into the room and placed the envelopes on my coffee table between them. What's this? Lisa picked up her envelope, puzzled expression like she'd never seen official mail before. Eviction notice, you have 30 days to find other housing. The color drained from Lisa's face like water from a broken pipe. Gary grabbed his envelope, scanned the legal text, then looked at me like I'd lost my mind. This is our home. Gary stood up, fists clenched, trying the intimidation routine he'd used successfully for 4 years. This is my house. Your guests who've overstayed your welcome. Lisa's tears started on cue. Dad, what are you doing? I'm your daughter. How can you throw us out like strangers? You haven't paid rent in 4 years. You don't respect me or my property. Time to grow up and take responsibility for your own lives. This is insane. Gary stepped closer, invading my personal space. Everyone will know what kind of father you are. The notice is legal and final. 30 days. Start packing. I walked to my office and locked the door. Behind me, chaos erupted. Lisa wailing, Gary shouting threats, furniture scraping. I sat at my desk and listened to their panic like it was my favorite song on the radio. The family dinner confrontation came 2 weeks later. I set my dining room table with the good china, placed Amanda's affair photos in a manila folder at my seat. When they all arrived, Amanda, David, Lisa, Gary, they looked like they were planning an intervention. David tried the diplomatic approach. Rick, selling the house in this market, we could help organize everything. Make it easy for you. Amanda pushed for a condo, less maintenance, less stress. We're just concerned about you being all alone. I set down my fork and reached for the folder. Before we continue, there's something you should see. Amanda's face went white when she saw the photos. David looked like he'd been caught robbing a bank. The confrontation that followed was ugly but necessary. I told them about the irrevocable trust, the protected assets, their inheritance reduction to the legal minimum. "You can't do this," Amanda screamed. "We're your family. I'm protecting what I built from people who saw me as a resource, not a father." The eviction played out exactly as Anderson predicted. Sheriff's deputy, 2-hour deadline, Lisa and Gary scrambling to pack their belongings. They left cursing and making threats, but they left. Amanda tried bribing me through David $15,000 to keep quiet about the affair during their planned divorce. I deleted the text and blocked the number. 3 months later, I'm sitting on my back porch with morning coffee, watching the Texas sunrise paint the sky orange and red. The house is quiet except for birds and distant traffic. No demands for money, no manipulation, no drama. Lisa and Gary found a cheap apartment across town. Amanda and David, divorced as planned, both lost money to lawyers fighting over the remaining gifts. Perfect justice served cold. I've started woodworking classes, something I always wanted to try, volunteering at the Veteran Center on Fridays. Dating Sarah, the photographer who showed me the truth when my own family was feeding me lies. Simple things became revolutionary. Keeping my own money, making my own decisions, living without constant emotional blackmail. For the first time in years, maybe ever, I'm exactly where I want to be. Listen, if you're watching this and you're a man my age dealing with adult children who see you as their personal bank account, pay attention. Family manipulation is real and it can happen to anyone. The warning signs are always there: constant money requests, no respect for your property, treating your generosity like an obligation instead of a gift. Don't let guilt or love blind you to the reality of your situation. You worked your whole life to build something. You have every right to protect it and enjoy it. Setting boundaries isn't cruel, it's necessary for survival. Sometimes the people closest to you are the biggest threat to your security and peace of mind. Get legal protection before you need it. Document everything. Trust your instincts when something feels wrong. And remember, you don't owe anyone access to your life savings just because you share DNA. Blood doesn't give anyone the right to bleed you dry.